Hey guys, Louis here. Welcome back to Acorn Hill. We are in the backyard and I've set up a small planting area here on top of the elevated garden by the retaining wall. There is a lot happening here in the backyard and in the garden. Last night and yesterday we had a serious event of storms pass through the area. It is muggy, it is windy. We are expecting a few more thunderstorms to really pass through with hard winds coming, and so I wanted to do this plant project prior to the storm coming out. Today I'm removing old agave. Actually, they're just a year old agave that I unfortunately left out the first time we had the frost come through the area back in early winter, and with that it killed the agave. I have a pair of these, and ever since we were trying to rehab it, but it's not going to come back. There's a lot of mold and root rot already on this root ball, and it is time to chuck it out. And that's what we do when we have some plants. We try to rehab it, but you face the music, and when it is dead, it's dead. It's time to replace it. We have these antique fiberglass urns that we really like, and we've always wanted to have agave to get in them. So now, as you can see, I wanted to transplant this new agave that I got from Walmart, of all places. And for the price that I got for this, there is a set of pups that have grown beside the parent plant. So for less than $20 for this one pot, I will be able to produce 6 individual little ones along with the parent plant. And with that, for today, I wanted to show you an impromptu video on how I transplant these agave. I got a pair of these and wanted to show you what it will look like on the pair of urns that we have, and the plant requirement, the soil requirement, and obviously the very scant moisture and water requirement. And I'll also show you a clip on how I transplanted and separated first the different pups and transplanted them on the individual little terracotta pots that we have. A lot of good planning is involved in allowing this new plant to be transplanted, because the last thing I want is to break off any foliage that the mature agave has already put out. Those who appreciate agave really want the prized foliage that they have put out and have grown from the mother plant, and this one is a good specimen, and that's why I'm very carefully lifting it off the plastic pot. I used my pruners to cut the thin plastic pot that it came in and slowly lifted it off after I pried it open and separated the plastic pot from the root ball of the plant. One of the good things about this double purchase is that it came with a lot of soil, really good mix, cactus and succulent mix of soil that I could use for transplanting and planting these pups and this mother plant. Let me break away from this clip really quickly and let me show you what the soil looks like up close. Cacti and succulents require a really good draining soil, and in this mix, it's a half mixture of dried compost, a lot of sand, a lot of grit, and that's what's going to allow the moisture to just pass through the soil, leaving that enough moisture and humidity within the container for the plants to grow in. And so back to what I was doing earlier. Now I am trying to break off all these pups very carefully from the mother plant. All these pups are attached to the base of the root ball of the mother plant, and we need to pry it very, very carefully so that we are left with the individual base of the pup along with some roots that have developed from its initial growth. So this is very important that we do this carefully, and after they are separated, we want to make sure that they're also kept within a moist environment. Either put them in a plastic bag, the root ball of the new pups, or stick them in the loose soil. That way the feeder roots don't dry out. With the pups set aside, I now have time to really examine and slowly separate the roots of the mother plant and allow the extra soil to come off. Before I started planting the mother plant into the urn, I needed to check whether the hole is big enough for this to accommodate the requirements of the bigger plant. Now, when I went to Lowe's, I discovered this bit. This is called a step drill bit. As you can see, it's conical in shape. It has some notches, and each of those step graded nesting individual notches are what's going to drill and allow for cleaner holes to get into either ceramic or fiberglass and even metal. Right, and after drilling the appropriate size hole, it's pretty straightforward. You get a crock or any broken pot to make sure that it's covering but not impeding the flow of water on top of the hole. And then we use the succulent mix to be placed right on top of the crock, and this will form as the base where we can arrange and situate the long set of feeder roots coming off from this mother plant. This is the point of potting that one really needs to take his time. We are not rushing here. We are trying to fill up all the empty spaces, the negative spaces that the network of roots already have. As these empty spaces are being filled up by the very loose planting medium, this will form as the anchor. This will anchor the plant down. This will situate this plant firmly, and this will form as a foundation area for the roots to grow in and will firm out this plant over time. As one section of the vessel gets filled up, we rotate the pot. That way we can get some of the other areas properly filled up, and we can also balance the center where the center of the plant should get to. We are careful also not to over tamp because the roots are very tender and we don't want them ripping off of the base of this plant. And in no time, the plant, the agave, is secure in the center of this urn. Now it's time to pot up all the pups that we took out and harvested from the mother plant. And the process is basically the same. You get your vessel, you get your small terracotta pot, cover the whole of the terracotta pot with another terracotta to prevent the soil from leaching out. Fill up the terracotta pot about halfway up so that will form the base of where the feeder roots of the pups will settle and go to. And much similar to earlier, you carefully fill up all the remaining open spaces all the way around the pups, all the way around evenly by the plant, and allow for a light tamping so that you can secure the feeder roots between the first layer and the new layer that you have just put in. Right, and so after we planted the mother plant in the urn and all the pups in the individual terracotta, the only thing left is to put some layer of gravel right on top of the soil, the planting medium, right beside and right below the base of each plant. Doing this will also allow for weight to be evenly placed on top of that layer of soil. Also will allow for a better and much cleaner look when we have these displayed either on top of this retaining wall or top of a garden table. There's a big difference between the darker dirt that we see versus the brighter, cleaner look provided by the gravel and the grit right on top of the dirt. And there you have it, guys, a simple planting project, putting these agaves in the containers that we already have. All that's left is just trimming and pruning some of the broken agave leaves. When I got them, they already have some of these broken ones, and by trimming them and pruning them, that will prevent any of the diseases to enter into the plant and will allow for, again, a much cleaner look. I hope you liked this video today. It's a simple planting project. I really appreciate you joining me and spending some time with me. Shout out to those who have been emailing me lately and commenting on the comment section of all our videos. Our channel is growing. I'm really glad that I've got some viewers out in Malaysia, in Australia. I got viewers now building up in India, Great Britain, the Philippines, my kababayans, and also shout out to some folks that are out there in Denmark that are also saying hi to me on some of our videos. Thanks again for being a part of the channel and being a part of what we can offer. Our channel is all about home building, homesteading, stewardship, and enjoying what we have and enjoying the blessings. If you happen to stumble on the channel and enjoy what we have, don't hesitate to click on that subscribe button. Tell your friends. It's all about sharing the knowledge that we all have, and I appreciate you commenting as well. For now, this is your friend and your homesteader, Louie, and we'll see you back here in Acorn Hill. Bye-bye for now.